2024 Specialized Globe Haul LT, which stands for long tail. Guys, I just got this bike and I put 109 miles on it. So I want to give you an honest owner's review. I don't have a dog in the race, and this is my own personal opinions. I've owned multiple e-bikes now. I've owned a Trag Damani HP that cost me $7,500. I've owned Pedigo, cost me $3,500. I've owned the electric, which cost me $1,500, and so on. So the point of the story is I've ridden a lot of e-bikes at this time in my life, and I'm normally putting about 10 to 20,000 miles a year from the past few years, every year that I've been cycling car free. And I want to come tell you an honest review of this bike. I've only put 109 miles on it, so it's not a lot, but so far it's beat my expectations. Even though this has a hub motor, it drives really good. It drives as good as my Bosch motor on my Bosch bike. It's unbelievable. One of the coolest things about this bike is I'm able to carry my kids on it. We're on a vacation right now, and you know, on our vacation today we just did 50 miles and they were on the back, and it's a great bike for going on vacation, you know, going out all day with your kids, hauling a lot of stuff, cargo with it. The way the bike is dressed today, as the way with all the accessories, I'm into it for $5,050. So to get it dressed like this with the accessories, I'm missing the rail. The rail is at the house, but I didn't put the rail on. With the rail, the way the bike is about $5,050 and some change. Okay, do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. This bike, the hub motor is amazing. It really feels like a regular bike. For example, my other bikes, electric cargo bike, you know, there was a lot of ghost pedaling. There was basically an on and off mode, basically, because of the cadence sensor. But this doesn't have a cadence sensor. This has a torque sensor, but the torque sensor is very good. You really are struggling to pedal. You know, so what I'm saying is, it really feels like a regular bike versus an e-bike. Today, if you want to go, you know, this bike goes up to 28 miles an hour, but if you want to go that fast, you really got to, you know, bust your butt, put some sweat in. Today was, you know, like I said, we've done a lot of miles today, and we're pretty exhausted because, like the other e-bikes that I have, I'm usually doing 15, 20 miles an hour easily. With this bike, we're cycling right around a normal bike, like 8 to 12 miles an hour, and we're actually putting a lot of work into it. You know, it's not easy. We do have another Specialized ST or short tail. That one has about 400 miles on it, and we love this bike so much. I bought this bike for $600. It's 2023. We bought it for $600. They retail for roughly about $3,000. Stay to the end. I'll show you how you can get that for that price in your backyard. This one we bought new, so we spent $5,050 with it for all the accessories. We bought this secondhand. It only had like a couple of hundred miles on it. I think actually it only had 100 miles on it, so it was spanking new, and I got it for $600. But today I'm talking about the 2024 Globe Haul ST cargo e-bike, and man, I would highly recommend this. Now, I don't know about the warranty work. I don't know how that stuff is or how reliable the bike is, but the way the bike feels, the algorithm, the way you pedal, it really feels like a regular bike versus a e-bike. And you're going to burn a lot of calories, you know what I mean? You're going to build muscles with this versus the cadence sensor ghost pedaling. Everything on this bike was amazing. For example, the first thing I do when I buy a bike is I change the saddle, I change the pedals, and I changed the grips. This one even has this little smiley face on it. But the grips were amazing right off the bat. Same thing with the saddle, same thing with the pedals. This is the very first bike that I've ever bought. Out of all the bikes I've ever bought in my life, I didn't replace those three things, okay? So right off the bat, everything was good, ready to go, which blew me away. The battery life is pretty good. We put a lot of miles on today. I only have one more bar left. But, you know, you'll probably be able to get 60 miles on this bike on level 1 pedaling. I did I did use a little throttle for the hills and intersections, but besides that, I pedaled pretty much in level 1, level 2 today. And like I said, we put a lot of miles on. I only have one more bar. So overall, would I recommend this bike to someone at this level of just only knowing the bike for 109 miles? Absolutely. It feels like a regular bike. It feels like high quality. I was comparing this with the Avalon Abound, and I was going to buy that one, but I just realized that, you know, that looks like a nicer bike on paper, but when I test drove it, this was more of a solid feeling bike. I have an electric cargo bike called the Expedition, and that one and the Avalon has the same folding stem, which I do not like. It makes it very wobbly and it doesn't feel sturdy at all. This bike feels really sturdy. I can let go of my hands on the wheel and it feels sturdy. For example, on my electric Expedition cargo bike, I could not do that. I wouldn't feel safe on it. Okay, so overall, this feels like an amazing bike. You know, I just got it, so I might be stoked because of that. But I have had other bikes. For example, my Track Damani, I got it. It has so many problems right off the bat. I spent $7,500 with no accessories. This one was $3,500 with tax and shipping. Everything came to $3,700, but the accessories is where they got you, because all these little things starts adding up on it, guys. Okay, now I'm gonna put, you know, thousands and thousands of miles on it, and I'll keep you guys updated when it comes to the warranty, stuff like that. When I did get the bike, it did have, you know, little scratches on the handlebar, it had little blemishes. I reached out to Specialized, and they said they're gonna refund me $150 for the blemishes, which I thought was pretty cool. All right, so besides that, everything else is pretty smooth on it. I haven't had any problems with it, but again, I only have 100 and some odd miles on it. One thing I also like about it is you're able to put all these, you know, water bottles. And all my other cargo e-bikes, you barely get any water bottles on it. Here I got 2 here. You know, we're on vacation. It's very hot out here. And so it's very cool to be able to put a lot of water bottles in there. I even put my first aid kit right there. And I also like these panniers. I didn't think I would because they're like 80 bucks each, but actually they work really, really good. So overall, I've been happy with the purchase. I wish I would have done it a year ago versus going to so many different bikes. Because sometimes when you're comparing bikes, man, on paper they all look the same, right? Until you try them or until you deal with the companies, right? Like my last bike, electric, the company was amazing. They were like one of the best bicycle companies I ever dealt with. Unfortunately, the quality of the bike was not that great, you know. Not that it broke down, but it just tore up my body when it came to the body mechanics. The geometry was not the best. The way the metal was forged, the aluminum was forged, it didn't absorb a lot of the shocks, and it just delivered the shocks into my body. So I started actually having back pains and knee pains, and I never had that. I'm an athletic guy. I work out, and so I knew it was because of the bike, you know, especially because my degree is in kinesiology. I tried to figure out what was causing that to happen, but, you know, I couldn't figure it out, so I decided to buy a new bike. The other cool thing with this bike is you can sit 3 kids on here, or 2 kids and a dog, which you couldn't do that with any other bike. This is the only cargo bike that I know that you can put on 3 kiddos on there. But overall, man, I'm super stoked with this bike. I'll keep you guys updated. If you have any questions, comment regarding the bike, let me know. Definitely get you one of these Orbit bags right there. Very helpful. Besides that, good job Specialized for coming with the cargo e-bike. I think the future is cargo e-bike, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's going to be driving e-bikes, many people, because what's happening around the world, the geopolitics and gas prices are going to go off the roof. That's my prediction. But this is a different story. This is a bike review, so I'm not going to get into geopolitics on this one for you. Anyways, guys, 2024 Specialized Globe Haul LT owner review. This is a no fluff review, and I'll give it 2 thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Now, if you want to know how I bought this bike for $600 from a local person, then there's a link below. I have a free training where it teaches you how to buy bikes in your local area, like brand new, like a 2023 Globe with 100 miles for $600, even though they're selling for $3,000. So if you're willing to buy a second hand, then I can show you how to buy it for pennies on the dollar. But, you know, I bought one second hand, I loved it, and I decided to just buy a whole new one for myself because, you know, we're going to put thousands of miles on it. Anyways, guys, don't take no for an answer. Peace.